All right, we're good. Hey, welcome back, MobilityWOD special Yosemite edition. And here we go. A couple friends. We're up here. This is Jenny LaBaugh, also known as LaBossum, and then my friend Marcus Brown. And if you combine the three of us, it's LaBrown Star, which is pretty amazing. And that's trademarked already, by the way. So, spent all the day kind of bumming around the valley. And one of the things I want to talk about specifically, you notice we've got a slack line set up here. And I don't know if we've had the slack line on the WOD before. I think we have. But one of the things that we've been talking about a lot in the last kind of in our smoke community is how do we create athletes, and what's that skill set look like, and the lost art of what we call, this is not going to be family friendly, dicking around. Some people call it playing. We call it messing around. The technical term is dicking around, right? So here's the deal: is that one of the ideas we want to pick up as many new skills as we can and challenge. Now the slack line is interesting because your center of mass is above it, right? It's reactive balance. It doesn't necessarily feed into premotor cortex like having your foot on the ground. And I think this has been a mistake for people on Bosu balls for a long time, in that what's happened is that people are getting really good at sort of down-regulating some of the noise and simplifying movement, which we'll come back to in a second. But it is important because when you're working on being stiff in a position, what we find is that athletes have to co-contract, and it really undoes a lot of stiffness. So as a recovery piece or a messing around piece, it's great. You learn some new things about yourself. The other thing I think is interesting is that you'll always see good athletes jump on the slack line. And one of the distinctions I think of what a good athlete does is simplifies movement variables. The fewer the things that are moving and being organized, sort of the more efficient transfer of energy. And what ends up happening is that when you get on a slack line like this, you can see who's wobbly and how many hip joints you have and what's going on, and you start chicken necking, right? And then you can see suddenly how people can shut that down. And it's really, I think, a mark of a good athlete, right? So we just jump up there real quick for us. No pressure, but it's on camera now, so it counts. And we're gonna put Marcus Brown up here for a second too. But just to show you guys, like, this is insanely difficult. Oh, look, and she's got to have full range of motion to be able to do that. It's tighter, so it's easier. Right, and notice there's not a lot of movement. We also notice that we tend to get the similar patterns that we tend to see. Jenny's always working on this lower back. We start to see it under high stress and high tension, right? But this is also very good. Now, show us what you were messing around for a second. This is impressive. And I highly recommend that you do this at home. Can you climb onto the rope from underneath? Because it's not hard enough walking back and forth. Oh, come on, Jay. For the camera. Otherwise, it doesn't count. Why are you breathing hard? You're not even working. There's not even thrusters involved.
Come on, get that leg up.
Oh, so sick. That was so legit. Both feet. Count it. Now, Marcus Brown is you're a professional. What do you do?
Waterboarder.
Skier.
Water skier.
And you've been doing this a long time, yeah?
Yeah, since I can remember, yeah. 20 plus. Yeah.
20 plus
Probably
years.
as long as you've been doing this whole mobility.
Yeah. Little stretches? Little stretches have been going on for about 2 years. So jump up on there real quick and let's watch what happens. And we learn interesting things. Now, if you're watching, we know that Marcus has a little bit of a tight right ankle. You see he has a different stabilization strategy, left side, right side. But look how quiet his back is. It's almost like he sits in this position for a living. And you start to see that, but really no movement going on. So few movement variables. I think that's interesting. Can you do the turn? Oh,
I see his dreads.
Well, that counterweighted him. You gotta count.
Yeah, I didn't account for the dreads. It's been a while.
They were dry jets. Can you do the jump on?
Nah, I don't know. We'll see. See if we can.
It only counts if you're doing it on camera. Oh! One more time.
All right. You're gonna lose your viewership here.
Woo! Legit. Now, one of the ideas here is if you can get a slack line, set this up easy in your backyard. Highly recommend this. We have a lot of our tactical athlete friends. After you're brutalized, you feel sore, you're not hooking up. It really does allow you to sort of deal with some of the stiffness issues in your joints. And just having to create that co-contraction and finding your balance points really does pay dividends as application to other kind of more formal sport, right? But even just what we're doing here, can you stand on one leg for us? Even just the difference, and one of the things we think is really interesting is that this is his left foot, right? And then go just do your right foot. And you'll see marked differences side to side. And we see this, athletes who are really good skateboarding on one side, maybe not so good skateboarding on the other side. Anyway,
Asymmetry.
Asymmetry. Key ideas here. Takeaway concepts. 1, please play. This is, you're not doing that enough. 2, what else did you say? We're seeing that, you know, our definition of best athlete, who can pick up the new skill the fastest, and who can
Get organized.
Get organized. Who can simplify and apply the same set of patterns over and over. Imagine being in Yosemite with these two. Boy, it's a recipe for disaster.
And this guy.
This guy,
wow.
yeah.
See you guys tomorrow.